So you can start building these palettes up. One of the, just I'm going to tell it to stay open here. One of the nice things here with the palettes too is we can also do other things, like I can add separators inside of here. So, and then you could put this wherever you want. So I'm going to say I want maybe, yeah, that's actually not a bad spot. Add another separator. Oops. Add separator. I'm going to take this one and I'll put it down below my doors. You can add text. So I can say, you know, doors, and actually start labeling things. Put things wherever you want. And you know, this is going to allow you to really get at the content you want a lot easier. If I were to right-click on the palette here, let me just drag this across for a second. So this is, right now it's just mixed in with all my other palettes. If I hit Customize Palettes, I can actually start creating a new group. So right now I'm in the Annotation and Design group, right, where I have annotation, architectural, mechanical, etc. I'm going to create a new group, and I'm just going to call this, you know, custom, whatever, and I'm going to drag this up to the top so it's at a high level. And then I could take my plumbing fixtures and drag that over here on the left-hand side. Let me create one more. Actually, let me just do it. I'll create another real one. Go back into my design center. And that was the house designer. I'm going to go into the space plan. This one has, like, you know, furniture and such. And I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to select all of these different blocks. I'm going to go ahead and create a tool palette. So I created my new tool palette. I'm going to rename this one, and this one will be furniture. Okay. I'm going to go back into my customized palettes. I'm going to drag furniture over. Actually, before I do that, I want to come up to the top here. Okay, and then I hit close. So now, right now, I have this palette group with all these various different palettes on it. But if I just want to see the stuff that I had, I can just go to Custom, and now I just have these two palettes that I just created. And of course, you know, you could again modify this however you want. So this is great for me, but if you also need to customize palettes again, if you need to share this with somebody else, then, you know, just come over here and I could export this, and it'll go ahead and create an XPG file, which is a product group with all of the symbols and such. You probably, if you're going to be sharing this with other folks, you probably want to make sure that the drawing that you're using as your sample is on the network location, because this is looking for it on my local C drive right now, because I created it from my C drive. And you can actually, if I go to properties, you can see it actually has the path to where the source file was. So if you're going to be sharing this, you know, put it on a shared network drive so you can start copying these things from one place to the other. Okay. Did I miss anything, Zach, as far as just the basics here?
That's pretty much it. That's the high points for sure. Absolutely. And I'd like to say that I think one of the coolest things about it is that when you talked about how, you know, you might have done things without Design Center, it involves, you know, opening a file, selecting a block, copying it to the clipboard, going to your other drawing, pasting it into your other drawing, and this really makes that so much more quick and, I don't know if elegant's the right word, but it's just a more efficient way of doing it for sure.
Yeah, and I certainly don't know of any other way of, you know, copying things like layers from one drawing to another without using Design Center, or other than copying geometry that happens to be on that layer.
For sure, yeah, and same thing with you know, text styles and line types and all those things. Yeah, if you copy a dimension that has a particular dimension style, it's going to bring the dimension style with it. But you can bring just the dimension style into a drawing without necessarily bringing any existing objects, any existing dimension objects that are using that style. So it's head and shoulders above copying and pasting for sure.
Yeah, this is a great tool for setting up your drawing templates that you're going to be using, you know, within your projects and stuff. You know, instead of just inserting a bunch of stuff and erasing it, you can just, you know, copy in what you need to.
Absolutely.
Right.
If you wanted to throw it back to me, I'll go over a couple little things that I wanted to touch on, and before we go into the Q&A here.
Okay. You are now the presenter.
Fantastic. I'm going to show this screen, and let me know when you can see me.
Yep, just popped up.
All right, very good. So a couple of things to note here. With Windows 7 and the newer versions of Windows, we have some abilities that we didn't have previously, back when the Design Center was originally conceived and constructed within the program. And one of those things I want to show here is, for example, the My Documents. If we go into My Documents here, let's see, let's look Properties. I think I had it set. So in my case, I've got my documents set to look at these two folders, and as you can see here, there are other buttons, so you could include multiple folders in what's called, air quotes, My Documents. But when you, and the typical, you know, default location is C users, your username / documents. That's always been the main place for your documents folder. But with this ability in Windows now to redirect your documents folder, and sometimes you'll have your My Documents folder stored in a network location, and maybe your IT will set that up for you that way so that you're not storing things locally. So, you know, just disaster preparedness more than anything there. So what you need to remember though about that is, if you go into the Design Center, and Control-2 is a shortcut to bring it up, you need to remember that you're going to be browsing through specific folders and on specific drive letters, so there aren't any shortcuts in here for My Documents, for example. So you'd have to go to C, you know, I had a customer just last week. They said, you know, hey, if I go to C users, my username, and I go into Documents, I'm not seeing any drawings, you know, any drawing files. But if I pull up the My Documents shortcut in Windows Explorer, I see all kinds of drawings. And that's when we drilled down and we found out that their Documents folder was indeed redirected. So in order to pull up those same files, you can still get to those same files with the Design Center. You just have to know specifically where they are. In this case, they thought they were C users, username, documents, but they happen to be in like a mapped Z drive on a server somewhere. So you've got to know what the path is. And you know, a lot of times people don't even really have a concept of what a pathing looks like. You know, this directory / this directory / this directory. So that's just one of the gotchas I wanted to point out there that you may run into, because I've certainly had people report here that they were using Design Center and found that they couldn't find their files where they thought they were, and it was just a matter of understanding specifically where the things were. Another thing that I wanted to briefly touch on is that you've got these 3 tabs in the Design Center. Now there used to be a 4th tab to the right of History, used to be DC Online for Design Center Online, and what that was a shortcut really just to an FTP site that housed thousands of DWG files full of blocks, and it was pretty slick. It was really well organized, but that's only available at this point in the non-English versions of the program. So you may see still, if you run the CAD Manager control tools, there'll be a checkbox for disabling or enabling the DC Online tab. And you might think, what is the DC Online tab? That's what it is. It used to be here. It's not now. So DC Online used to answer the ages-old question, hey, I need some content. I need a chair, I need a desk, I need a table, what have you, and I don't want to draw it from scratch. Surely you guys have a library somewhere of these sorts of things, and it's true. We used to have a disk that you could get called Symbols, and it was chock full of DWG files full of blocks, but it's long since out of print. If you can find one, that's great. But with the demise of DC Online within the Design Center, we replaced it with Autodesk Seek. And what this is over here, up in the upper right-hand corner, you don't necessarily have to go through it through Design Center, but you can. It's easy. If you click on this, it will launch your browser, and it'll take you to seek.autodesk.com. Of course, you can mark that as a favorite and just go in your browser to it independently of AutoCAD, but it's a nice little link from within Design Center. And with Seek, the Seek website, what we did is we took all of the stuff that used to be on the DC Online FTP server and more, and we put it together in a much more user-friendly, searchable website. And so, for example, if we go into, say, interior, and we want to look, we've got 493 chairs to choose from. So if we click on that, it'll bring us to a listing of just the chairs. And as you can see on the left there, there's a drill down, and you can further specify what you want. Maybe you want them for office, maybe you want systems furniture for a bunch of things, chairs. You know, you can sort by manufacturer, all sorts of ways you can narrow things down. You can change your sort options here, and next to each one, it's really cool. It tells you, and it's not just for AutoCAD, as you can see here. It tells you what file formats are available for these particular things, and it'll give you a preview of what the thing looks like. Some files are Revit files, some are DWGs for AutoCAD, some are DWIFs you could view in Design Center, and not Design Center, sorry, design review, that's what I'm trying to say. And of course PDFs. Now with 2017 AutoCAD having the new ability to take PDFs that are attached and extract out the geometry from them, turn them into editable geometry, all these PDFs that are up here available on the Seek website become that much more useful because you can, and in most cases you'll find a DWG too, but if you just find one that doesn't happen to have an AutoCAD DWG, but it does have a PDF, you can just grab the PDF, import it into AutoCAD 2017 and going forward in newer versions, and turn that into editable geometry. So the Seek website, as you can see here, has lots of stuff, really well put together, really well laid out. It's easy to search through and narrow down, and grab some pre-done content from manufacturers, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you need to build a table or put some chairs, or if you're putting together a floor plan and you need bathtubs and sinks and toilets and tables and whatnot, they're here. So it's save you some time. So take advantage of it, check it out, go to the Seek website, look around. It's cool just to browse around, and some of the files are 2D, some of them are made to look like 2D, but they're 3D, but they're really 2D files. So they come in all shapes and sizes and formats, as you can see here.